Prague. All of those European cities and more saw rallies as supporters of the anti-immigrant and anti-Islam group Pegida protested at what they call the Islamization of Europe. The group had all but fizzled out last year, but has gained momentum after the influx of refugees into Europe over the past few months. And although some protesters say they were disappointed by a low turnout, there were still thousands of people who took part. The biggest of the demonstrations was in the German city of Dresden, where nearly 10,000 people took to the streets to call for a change in government policy. We'll get to our discussion in a moment. But first, for Inside Story, this report from our correspondent, Dominic Kane.
This was their opportunity to show strength in numbers, to link up with supporters from across Europe. Dresden is where the anti-Islamic movement Pegida sprang from. Its followers are fearful of the future.
We will be a minority. In the end, I'm here for my grandchildren. It cannot be that I am a minority in my own country. This is the way it will end up being.
The people at this demonstration have come here to show their extreme unhappiness with the refugee policies of the coalition government. They say they represent a growing sentiment in German society, and they say they want those policies radically changed now.
Pegida's organisers had called for a series of rallies in 5 other European countries. This was the French northern port city, Calais, which has long been a destination for refugees and migrants trying to reach the UK. Around 150 Pegida supporters were involved in disturbances with the police. 10 people were arrested. Across the Channel, hundreds of people marched through the English city of Birmingham, but the numbers were lower than in Dresden. Over the course of 2015, Pegida had struggled to retain its support, with dwindling attendances at weekly rallies. But one leading local academic told me all that changed late last year.
They have been reinvigorated by the ongoing and increasing and enormous immigration into Germany, which started last September, because all the fears Pegidians cultivated came true. All these statements of politicians that Pegidans would talk about fancy problems, which were no really problems, turned out to be wrong.
But that analysis was not shared by several thousand opponents of Pegida, who also rallied in Dresden on Saturday. Germany's coalition government is broadly committed to its refugee policy, despite the hardening in public opinion. But that policy will soon face a serious examination when 3 key states hold parliamentary elections next month. Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera, Dresden.